Honestly, I hate riddles, but I have one for you. What has double the horsepower, has 100 less miles of range compared to the normal model, and costs almost $20,000 more than the normal model? It's the all-new 2025 Hyundai Ioniq 5N. And I could not be more excited to have this absolute monster this week. So welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Sparkplug TV. My name is Chris and I do car reviews for literally everybody, not just car enthusiasts. Before I begin today's video, as always, please do me the biggest favor ever and like this video, comment something down below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video, which is whenever I can, y'all. Thank you for your support. And welcome back to my now summer series, which means I don't want to be outside filming. I'm also on Accutane, and the sun is really out to get me right now. So the Ioniq is not new, but the Ioniq 5N is all new for the 2025 model year, and it is outstanding. I mean, does a perfect car exist? No, but this thing comes pretty close to really, really good, like almost there. Because there are some things, of course, that I don't like about it. Nothing is perfect. But I mean, this thing has just been such a joy to have this week. So let's talk about pricing. This only comes in one flavor, and it's the 5N, which basically, after taxes, tags, destination, handling, all of those fees, you're gonna be looking at around $67,000 for this thing, which the standard Ioniq starts around $44,000. Meanwhile, the limited comes out around $55,000. $20,000-ish more expensive. You get a ton of fun packed into this. The other difference is going to be the drivetrains. The standard model comes with either rear wheel or all-wheel drive. This comes standard with an all-wheel drive plus double the horsepower. So speaking of that, you're looking at 601 horsepower in just standard mode. But then you have the N-Grin Boost button that elicits an extra 40 horsepower, which is absolutely insane. And then for torque numbers, we're looking at 545 without the N-Grin Boost, and then 568, so only an extra about 20-ish pound-feet of torque. But regardless, it's a lot of power for a Hyundai. I mean, I've been going around telling people that I'm driving a Hyundai that has close to 700 horsepower, and people are like, hello? What? And I can't believe it myself. This thing is rear wheel drive bias, and it is just an incredible car. Now let's talk about some other changes that they've made for this. Now again, to kind of speak to the sporty nature of it, the exterior is virtually the same. It's still got that same retro futuristic vibe with the digitization of the daytime running lights as well as the back end. But the differences are going to be in the side skirts with that N badge on the back. The fenders are flared out with some scoops, probably for cooling the massive brakes that I'll get into. And the front, just a little bit sportier looking. It honestly kind of looks like a sportier version of the Tucson. And then the back end has got a dedicated diffuser, which looks really good on this body. I mean, like, this thing doesn't turn heads by any means. Like, I have not caught anybody's attention in this thing, but I do when I pull out at a incredible speed. Now, the other thing is that this comes with 21-inch wheels that are pretty nice to look at. I really love the way that they look. This one also comes in the white color, and it also looks really good juxtaposed to the orange line that goes across the entirety of the bottom row of the car. And the rotors are 15 inches in the front and 14 inches in the back. That's really intense. And you can feel it. Plus, the brakes come in two different braking speeds, which I originally tested out on the Genesis model. I haven't really seen a difference, but there are two braking dynamics that you can get into. Now, because this thing is so high powered, that actually leaves no more room for that tiny little frunk that you can find in the normal Ioniqs. This thing is crazy. Anyways, so let's go to the differences in the interior. The interior is virtually the same except for two major pieces. The N steering wheel, as well as this center console. Those are about it. In the regular Ioniq, you've got a pretty standard center console, but in this one, it's got kind of this gouged out center console feel with these interesting cup holder situations that you kind of pop out, or you can make it for some more storage, but everything else is virtually the same. Except for, okay, I lied. There are three things. These N bucket seats, they are supposed to bolster you, and they do a good job at bolstering you, but it's not so much that it like hurts you. Like as long as I don't have my wallet in my back pocket, like it works for me, right? And the N lights up at night, which I find to be pretty interesting. Now everything else is virtually the same, from the capacitive touch, HVAC controls, and then the two 12-inch gauge cluster and infotainment displays. And then just like, that's it. I mean, because that's all you really need. Now, the other biggest changes have got to be in the software in the infotainment system, as well as the gauge cluster. So as you could probably hear this whole time, I totally forgot that it was even there. But this thing comes with probably the biggest news for the Ioniq 5N has got to be the simulated gear shifting. Like, did you hear that? All right, so let me show you guys real quick. So it's, I think as I'm showing it to y'all, it's like kind of silly to me, but like, honestly, in the moment and when I first got it, I'm actually kind of impressed by it. Like, it really does a really good job at simulating an ICE powertrain. I don't know what it is, but it makes it really fun. I don't know if you can see me kind of lurching a little bit on camera, but the motors literally like lurch the car a little bit so that you feel like you're upshifting or downshifting. Now that I have a chance to actually kind of showcase the N-Grin boost, I will then get into everything else, because I am about to use this to get onto the highway. So it's this button right here on the steering wheel. You press it and it literally feels like it's unlocking the car. It gives you about 10 seconds of unmitigated power. It's nuts. The only way that I can describe it is it is similar to the Model S Plaid's kind of ability to glue you to your seat so unapologetically. It is unbelievable how much G-force you actually kind of endure from the N-Grin button, the N-Grin boost button, whatever. So let me get into a further explanation of the steering wheel. So it was a little confusing at first, but this N button on the bottom left, this activates the immediate, like the sportiest setting possible, with the dampers at its highest sport setting, the steering wheel at its highest sport setting, and the accelerator at its highest sport setting. Then you can have either the regenerative braking active or the EN shift mode activated with the right hand button. And that button is also available for the normal, eco, and just the regular sport mode. So you can either have the regenerative braking, or you can do the simulated shifting for any of the modes. And of course the drive modes are actually located up here as well. So like I said, you've got eco, normal, and sport. And there's also a huge difference in terms of range when you choose between normal, eco, and sport. Like, it literally gives you like a 5-mile difference in total range. The engine sound is not as loud. It's a much calmer kind of environment. Now, to speak to the range, it's got an 85 kilowatt hour battery pack, which is the top of the line battery pack for like the SEL and the Limiteds. But that 85 kilowatt hour battery pack has a range of 320 miles. This only has a range of about 220, which, if it's competitive with, like, say, the Toyota BZ4X or the Subaru Solterra or the Nissan Leaf, that's like a pretty normal number for something at this point. Is it great? Not necessarily. Does this thing absolutely destroy your battery if you are sport driving it all day long? Absolutely. I have never spent so much time at a charger in an EV in my life for as long as I've been doing this. It's insane how long this stays around a charger. This thing handles like a proper sports car. It is in the same category as like some German competitors. I mean, like this corner right here is probably the toughest that I typically do. And it does it without even batting an eyelash. It's insane. So there are also different active sounds that you can choose from. There's ignition, which is what I've stuck with. There's evolution. No. And then there's supersonic. Also no. I like the ignition or nothing at all. That's fine too. So at the beginning of the video, I mentioned that, like, is there a perfect car out there? Let's reel that in. Is there a perfect EV out there?
I definitely think it's this one.
Honestly, I mean, because the other thing is that in eco mode, it behaves like a normal car. This thing is such a chameleon. And I love it for that. It's so good at being a sports car, and it's also really good at being a daily driver. The fact that you can do both in something so cool looking and something so unassuming. I've got it in eco mode right now, and I've got it in the same position on the accelerator that I would in like sport or the N mode. And it's just gliding along, minding its business. I am so thoroughly impressed by this thing. It's wicked fast. It's got the Bose premium sound system. It sounds pretty good. It doesn't sound the best, but it sounds pretty good. Again, the only thing that I inherently don't like about this is just how much it eats your battery if you're sport driving it. That's it. It's quiet, it's comfortable, it's cool looking. I feel like I'm being repetitive. There's not gonna be a final thoughts section because this is it. Like, it's everything I kind of want in a modern car. It's sporty. Have I made myself clear? People are not gonna love the augmented reality sound effect. Like, I can already tell you that. What people will love is the fact that it gets 20 to 80% in about 18 minutes, which is like one of the fastest charging capabilities on the market currently, if I'm not mistaken. And if I am, I will correct myself as usual. But I am pulling back into my apartment building, and I gotta say, for $67,000, this thing's kind of a steal. If you don't want the hefty maintenance cost of something like a BMW M3 or any of the M's, I guess, but you want something crazy fast and really fun to drive. It's got a drift mode. It's got all of the necessary features that you would find in something like this, but the fact that, like, it daily drives so incredibly well, where, like, the suspension doesn't make me sick to my stomach. Yeah, hats off to you, Hyundai. You knocked it out of the park. So thank you all so much for watching today's video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell icon so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video, which is whenever I can. So thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Hey Sparks, thanks for watching today's video. Do you want more Sparkplug TV content? Then you can choose one of these 3 options. Right over here. The middle button is to subscribe to my channel, so please do that. Right over here. These 3. I can't see them in real life, but they're right here.